Welcome to the wonderful world of dodgy movies with me, your host, movie and TV Mistress. This week, I watched another film called Trick or Treats.
If you need someone to love, to get you through another day, I'm the one you're thinking of. I will make him pay for the things that he's done. And you can tell him I'm gonna give him
I know I tricked you all last week with my Donald Duck Disney short Trick or Treat. This week is also a horror film that you probably weren't expecting, called Trick or Treat. Now, this is a 1982 horror film by a director who was a cinematographer for quite a while for Orson Welles until pretty much the end of Orson Welles' life. Let's look at this movie. The premise of this movie is a babysitter is in charge of a spoilt brat who likes to play pranks on Halloween night. And his lunatic father escapes from a mental institute to terrorize her. Sound familiar? Sound like a John Carpenter film called Halloween by any chance? I know, Mike Myers was not her dad, it was her brother, but you see the similarities, right? So this is how the movie starts. Literally, we get this scene of men in white coats and white trousers with nothing under said white coats coming to take him away.
We're here for Mr.
There'll be some papers. Hi. We want you to come with us, Malcolm. Okay, there's no need for alarm.
Just a short
Just calm
Who
down.
are you?
Going for a little ride, Malcolm.
I'm not going for any ride.
We're going for a little ride.
Joan, who is it?
Malcolm, now just calm down.
What is going on? Let go of me.
Calm down.
Joan, let go of me. Cut him off!
Calm down, Malcolm.
Stay away! Who are you?
Slow down,
Stay away from me!
Malcolm.
Stay away!
Just
Stay away!
Malcolm.
Come on, Malcolm. Come on. Get the cops on it!
And then we get several years later. It's Halloween night. She's now with David Carradine for some bizarre reason, and she requires a babysitter, played by this woman. I don't care. Look, her boyfriend is Steve Railsback. You know, that actor that turns up in a whole load of weird sci-fi dodgy B movies. He should be up there with Bruce Campbell, but he's not. And then we get this annoying brat who likes to play pranks. And I'm not talking about bad pranks. They're pretty good, actually. They're all based around magic. He's really into his magic. His parents, David Carradine and Carrie Snodgrass, are dressed up as magicians, or appear to be. And they're going off for the weekend or the night somewhere else with some other family. That's it. The rest of the movie is the babysitter being pranked by the spoilt brat who won't stop pranking her. We get the odd appearance of some cast and crew kids who come by and trick or treat. It's so obvious that they're cast and crew kids because at certain points the kids are going, "You didn't give us any treats, you just gave us paper." They really wanted the treats. They didn't want to fake it. But anyway.
I want to check on Christopher. Hello again.
Hello again. Linda, this is Joan. Is everything all right?
No,
What do you mean?
your son is a holy terror. He committed suicide about 4 times. He tried to drown me. He set off explosions. He had me chase him all over the house. He played tricks on me.
Oh, he's perfectly harmless.
Oh, and some screwball keeps calling me on the phone. Is the kid a ventriloquist, too?
Well, he might be. Did he wreck the house?
No, but that's probably next.
Meanwhile, we're at a mental institute, which happens to be a grey curtain and some tables in front of it with some bad acting from some people that are pretending to be nuts. And a nurse you might recognise as the log lady from Twin Peaks. The father, who was put into the mental institute years ago, is planning an escape. The father is played by Peter Jason. You might recognise him. He's a bit of a character actor. He turns up in a lot of movies, usually as a bad guy or as a military person. He's in a whole load of John Carpenter films. Strangely not Halloween, but, you know, he was in Dreamscape, which I reviewed a couple days back. He was in They Live with as a character called Gilbert. He's in The Prince of Darkness, Village of the Damned, let me see, Mouth of Madness, Escape from LA, and Ghost of Mars. So I find it slightly ironic that Peter Jason is in basically a rip-off of Halloween, badly made rip-off of Halloween, and then later goes on to work with John Carpenter. Maybe he realised that if you're going to do a Halloween movie, you really should do it with the actual director who can actually direct. You'd think, right, okay, so he escapes and then he attacks. Nope. This movie, as I said, is about the babysitter and the annoying brat playing pranks on said babysitter. It takes an hour. Over an hour. The movie's an hour and a half. It takes over an hour for the dad, who's escaped from the mental institute, to get to the house. I know there's some realism there, baby. I guess they're trying to be realistic with him escaping, dressed in drag, walking through the streets, getting accosted, stealing some stuff in obviously badly set up scenes. I mean, the sets are bad. Apparently so bad that the actual house that the movie's set in is actually Kerry Snodgrass's own house. That explains the grey curtain in the mental institute. It's not a mental institute, it's just a room with a grey curtain in it. And some random beds set up beside each other like it's on a stage in a theatre. That's what it reminded me of. It reminded me of me days back years ago when I would be on stage and you'd pretend you were in a room somewhere, but your beds were all beside each other and you were badly lit. Some were better lit than others. I digress. Now we get towards the end of the movie. It's about half an hour before the end, and suddenly, out of nowhere, we're in a random scene with Gillian Kirshner. She's the big buxom blonde of this movie. Not the nanny, not the babysitter girl. No. This one. And this random scene comes out of nowhere.
The blood really looks fake.
Fake or not, these horror pictures give me the willies.
It's only a movie, Andrea.
Look, Connie, I love movies. I love editing. I love making movies more than I love eating. But these horror movies, they make me scared to drive home alone at night.
Well, I know what you mean. They don't exactly turn me on.
Do you think people will ever get tired of these films?
No. I think people are always interested in the latest monster that will pop up, or how much more blood can be spilled, or how many more guts can be ripped out.
And the producers will keep pouring them out.
Yeah.
Now, I get that scene we've just watched is poking fun and at the horror genre and at what we're actually watching. It's just a pity that this movie isn't a horror film. It is not scary. It's nothing. It's supposed to be Halloween. And it's supposed to be a badly made rip-off of Halloween. And we don't get that. We get Peter Jason dressed in drag walking about the streets for about an hour. And then he finally turns up and kills the wrong girl up in the attic. who happens to have turned up at the house unbeknownst to the babysitter and ended up in the attic. Because, you know, that makes sense. Want to be nice. I do. I really do want to be nice about this film, but this movie is rubbish. No scares, no everything, there's setups, but nothing comes of it. We have Steve Railsback in a play, dressed in armour, saying he's playing Othello. Okay, you're playing Othello, your girlfriend's scared, there's some weird stuff going on, some guy keeps phoning and heavy breathing down the phone to her. Does he turn up? In his knight in shining armour outfit? No. Set up, but never occurs. One person died in this movie. One. Random Fonzie girlfriend died in this film. Things were set up. Nobody came back. There was no fear. There was no tension. Peter Jason could be a very good, intimidating bad guy, psychopath that he was doing quite well with. Nope. This is more about The Boy Who Cried Wolf than it is about Halloween or Trick or Treat. And I don't know why it's called Trick or Treats. It felt like it was a massive trick, and there was no treats. And there was plenty of tricks. So if you're going to call it anything, call it tricks. No treats. So I'm sorry, people. Neither of us got a treat this week. I got a spider inside an apple or something. Something hideous and disgusting. And I can't, in whole conscience, recommend this film. I highly say avoid this film. This is piss poor, people. Do not watch this movie. And I promise we will have a treat next week. So, avoid this film, like the plague, and remember, hit that subscribe button, comment down there below, thumbs up, and don't forget to ring that bell. And remember, folks, there's a lot of dodgy movies out there, and this is one of them. Bye. Oh, by the way, next week it will be Trick or Treat. Bye.